July 6th, 2019, 11:30 p.m. Teterboro Airport, New Jersey. A private jet lands quietly under dim runway lights. Inside it, a man whose name had already begun echoing through the highest levels of power in America. Jeffrey Epstein. He steps off the jet, silently. No chaos, no cameras, no noise. But the silence was a lie. For years, his life looked perfect. Wealth, power, influence, private islands, elite connections, untouchable status. But it was all an illusion. Behind the suits, behind the luxury, there was something much darker. A network so complex, so deeply embedded in elite circles that even the most powerful institutions hesitated to expose it. And when the arrest finally came, it wasn't just about a man. It was about secrets that many feared should never surface. Days later, inside a federal detention center in Manhattan, something felt off. The atmosphere unusually tense. Guards moved through dim corridors, completely unaware that history was tightening its grip on that very building. Because the man inside had once surrounded himself with names like Donald Trump and Bill Clinton, names that carried global influence, political power, and dangerous connections. Photographs, flight logs, whispered meetings, each one revealing something darker, a disturbing picture of a network that stretched far beyond what the public could see. This was no longer just a criminal case. It was a doorway into a hidden world where power operated without consequence, where silence was currency, and where exposure meant collapse. August 10th, 2019, 6:30 a.m. Metropolitan Correctional Center, New York. A routine morning check revealed something that would shake the world. Jeffrey Epstein was found unresponsive in his cell. Official reports would later call it suicide, but the details refused to fit. Cameras malfunctioned, guards failed protocol, records incomplete. In a system built for control, too many things went wrong. Questions spread faster than answers, and with every passing hour, the story became harder to believe. For many, this wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something much deeper. As investigations unfolded, attention began to shift away from just one man toward a name that had always been there. Ghislaine Maxwell. A woman who stayed in the background, quiet but deeply involved. Her connections led to influential families, intelligence circles, and elite gatherings behind closed doors. Places where power didn't need permission. What once looked like a single story began to expand. Patterns emerged, connections repeated, movements aligned, suggesting something bigger. Coordination, protection, possibly organization. The deeper journalists dug, the more resistance they faced. Doors closed, leads disappeared, as if something unseen was deciding how much truth could exist. Across America, the public was divided between belief and skepticism. Some accepted the official story. Others believed the system was protecting itself. Because the idea that a man connected to some of the most powerful figures could die inside a high-security facility under such questionable circumstances, it didn't fade. It stayed. lingering in conversations, spreading across media, refusing to disappear. Every unanswered question became fuel. Every missing detail, a reminder that not everything reaches the surface. What started as a case became something more, a symbol of how power can blur truth, how influence can reshape narratives, and how some stories, no matter how deep you look, never fully reveal themselves. In the years that followed, documents began to surface. Testimonies emerged. And yet, the full picture never came together. The name, Jeffrey Epstein, remained suspended between fact and mystery, between what was proven and what was left. Deliberately incomplete. Somewhere within sealed files and forgotten conversations, the full story likely exists. But whether it will ever be revealed remains a question that continues to haunt the shadows of power. And as silence lingers, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Some secrets are not buried because they are lost, but because they are protected